Hello and welcome to Tabletop Pod to you crazy people. My name is Jay and today I'm going to be reviewing the combat zone scenery from PWorks War Games or PWorks War Games. Now this is pre-cut MDF that you have to build and assemble yourself. It's very easy to do, but we'll get onto that in a moment. And yes, the aesthetic is for like 28mm war games. You could use it for 40k, or I think the design is very sort of Star Wars-esque kind of feel. That's probably intentional, obviously, but they obviously can't call it that because of copyright and all that kind of stuff. So first things first, conflicts of interest possibly. I have one either way. Basically, I made some 3D printed files that are on Thingiverse. So you might think, oh, maybe he's going to favor his own 3D printed files. And secondly, they sent me all 4 of these kits for free. They just offered it up and I was like, yeah, I'll take that. And they're giving me for free. I personally don't think this has affected my review, but the disclosure is out there, so make your own mind up essentially. So what we'll do is we'll have a look at it on the website, and then I'll talk about it as we go. So let's have a look on their website. So they actually sent me all 4 kits. I've only actually assembled 1 and 2 and painted 1 and 2 because my house isn't that big and I need to retidy. I need to clear up some stuff and make room because I really like this stuff and I'm going to want to assemble it all, paint it all, and then use it in my games in some upcoming battle reports and stuff like that. So we're looking at number 1 and 2, which the reason I thought we'd look at these two is for the cost, it's 11.5 euros on one, 23.5 euros on number 2. I suspect the bigger kits will be more of the same, but with slightly different styles. They've got different barriers and all that kind of stuff. This is a hexagon, octagon, the 6-sided one. So you could, take your pick. It's up to you to go with them as however you like. Just on that is not what I wanted to see, because what I wanted to show you was this picture at the top. They had a bigger version of it. That's the picture with it all painted. It gives me a very that color scheme as well. It's sort of like a very Star Wars-esque color scheme. And I'm not sure how much of the sets there are, how many sets there are. Probably all 4. But yeah, I'm going to just be looking at the 2 just because time and space kind of reasons. And cost-wise, I think, for an MDF kit, that's quite a lot of MDF for like $12, €12, and quite a lot of MDF for like 23 euros. So all in all, when I received it, it was in these. I'm going to try and put pictures on, so hopefully future Jason will remember this and do this. It's like an A4 sheet of MDF, and then the whichever one you picked, the more expensive the kit, the more MDF you get, and then it comes with just an A4 sheet of instructions, and then these sheets of MDF. I think the 12 euro one is essentially 2 sheets of MDF. It might have been 3, must have been 3 because there was quite a lot. Anyway, I will be putting pictures so you'll be able to see. And yeah, very easy to assemble. They recommend vinyl glue. I don't know what vinyl glue is. I just, on some parts, use super glue, but a lot of the time I've actually not glued it together. I've just push fit it together. The reason I've done that is I want to be able to unassemble it so that I can store it a little bit easier. Obviously, if you are pushing and shoving, your paint jobs might wear and that kind of stuff, but that's nothing to do with the product. They recommend you glue it. For the first set is basically 2 of these. I'll show you this. It's 2 of these. They come with barriers and stuff like that, like this. I've just not, put it on. And I've painted them in a very simple paint job. It comes with 2 of these and then 2 of these walkways. So you can essentially have that and another one over there, or you can stack them up if you really wanted to. However, I don't think stacking them up, it's not really built for that, so it might be a bit wobbly. If you've not glued them together, it's pretty damn sturdy. I'm not gonna lie, obviously I'm not gonna on a table, but the push fit is pretty damn snug. If I put it on a table, I can't put it on my arm, but it's not really gonna wobble or shake or fall apart even without glue. And if you glued them in, it would obviously be stronger than that. Design wise, it looks fantastic. And the concept of the push fit, one piece in the corners, I really like, and with the engraving on there, I really like that as well. All in all, for the first set, I was very pleased with it. I think like for €12, having like two of those, two walkways, really good value. Now the paint jobs, we'll talk about the second one first. For the second one, it's essentially the same thing. You get your A4 sheet, and then you get your several different sheets of MDF. Your A4 sheet has all your work instructions. You don't need you don't even need the assembly guide. It is that simple. It's very intuitive. There might be the odd little piece that you might want to check, but you won't really need it. And that is the second set, which is €23.5, is basically this with an extra one on top. It's a two-tiered piece, basically. And I did glue the supports just with the little triangle bit because it can be a little bit fiddly, so I glued that. But the rest of it, I just push fit it together. Assembly time for all of it, like for the first one, let's say 10 minutes, 15 minutes, possibly not even that. And then for the slightly bigger piece, let's say 20 minutes. I mean, I didn't really count, but it was a very short amount of time to assemble it. And then once it was all assembled, I just got some spray cans, primed it black first, which I probably didn't need to. And I think has left, in some cases, like when the grey's not gone on afterwards, the black showing through and it looks a bit speckly, which I think it is my paint job, not the not the actual terrain pieces. And sprayed it black. I wanted to do that because I wanted like the underneath. So let's see if I can show you on this. Like the underneath is much darker, whereas that's much lighter, which, light wise, I think makes sense. And it gives a nice little effect in the corners. Sprayed it grey. And then sprayed it white. But the white spray, obviously, I'm trying to just pick out highlights to just give it like a dark grey here and then a lighter kind of shade of grey. I used cheap tins for the black and the grey, and then I ended up using Corax white from GW for the white, but that's just because that's the only white I had. And priming wise, painting wise, again, another 10-15 minutes. So really, for like €35 and then some cheap spray cans, and probably about, let's say an hour of your time, you can have a really decent set of terrain. As I said, it looks mostly Star Wars-y, but you could definitely use it in Kill Team, for example. So I'll put some pictures up of on my little board. This is a desert board, which is probably might fit more like an Endor-y or a City kind of board, but this is Endor. It's like it's a desert kind of board, and these two kits literally fill up that entire board, which is 22 inches by 30 inches, something like that, which is like a quarter of the table, and it fills it up very easily. So, the amount of money it costs to have like a decent table, I'm really impressed. This was my first MDF kit. It was very easy to assemble. It was very easy to just spray paint. I could put a wash on it if I wanted. I could have gone over more time and sprayed everything grey and possibly done a little bit better. But for me, terrain is all about getting it up and running quickly and cheaply. And you can do that. Like a 3D printer, 200 and odd quid, for one that's going to be able to print all this stuff. And then you've got to wait 10 hours a pop for each piece. This, I ordered it. Well, I didn't order it. We agreed that they would send it to me. Disclaimer again. They sent it me within a couple of days. I popped it open, assembled it, spray painted it within an hour. That's two kits, and I've got more. They've given me the other kits, but I just don't have the space. Without tidying up my house and putting everything away, I wouldn't have the space to store this. Because you can see, look at that. This is section number 4, which is like that octagonal piece with some steps. It looks fantastic. I will assemble that as soon as I can. Piece number 3 is huge. I'm definitely happy with 2 pieces, just 2 parts of it. I would have been thrilled, but having all of it is definitely an exciting time. But you can see, look at how much all of that is together there in that picture there. Pretty incredible. Overall, there are a couple of cons when it comes to MDF kits. There's a bit of flashing that you probably should remove with a knife, which is when you push it out of the MDF sheet, it's sort of like a sprue but not a sprue. You might get a bit where it doesn't come out very easily. You just need to take a knife and scrape that off. It's it's like anything. If you're in the hobby, it won't really be unfamiliar. The one thing it's not really a fault because they don't recommend you do this. These barriers, if you like, I keep putting them in and pulling them out, it can get quite tight. And the only slight problem is I broke one of the ends there, but that was me. They don't recommend that you keep pulling it in and pushing it out and pulling it in and pushing it out. They just recommend that you glue it, which makes sense because it's the MDF. It's like 3mm MDF sheets. You can see it's 3mm. Never mentioned that. It's all pretty much. I think it's all 3mm. Most MDF sheets are. So you can imagine a little knobby bit like that. It's not really designed to be in and out, in and out, in and out. The detail is perfectly engraved. I really have no complaints. I normally do a review and I'm normally like, oh well, this was good and this was a bit janky. I have nothing negative to say here. It's exactly what I would have expected, and value-wise, it's fantastic. The fact that it's sort of Star Warsian feel, it means if you're a fan of Star Wars Legion and you want some walkways, fine. You have the choice, like you can either have the barricades if you want, or not have barricades. People, when I did my 3D printed one, people were like, you can't have Star Wars and have barriers. And you don't really need the barriers for like terrain wise, because if you're on an angle, it's going to be hard cover anyway, but it gives you that option. Yeah, as I said, I have no complaints. I only have positive things to say about it. You'll be seeing this in my upcoming battle reports. I'm super thrilled about it. The fact that I've got more to assemble is both a good thing and a bad thing. Good thing because I'm excited to do it. Bad thing because I need to find space. I'm sort of tempted to throw away or sell some of my Kill Team terrain, so I can put it in the Kill Team box instead. But yeah, I mean, if you have any questions, let me know. I don't know what you would want to know about it. The quality of the cuts, fantastic. The design, fantastic. Assembly, easy. Cost, fantastic. I have no negatives. So just be aware that they did send it me for free, but I don't think that has influenced my decision. I still think cost wise it's fantastic. I'm very like, if you know anything about my channel, I'm very like aware of cost of products and stuff like that. It's one of my main focuses in the channel. So I wouldn't come on and tell you it was good value if it was super expensive. That's not something I would do. So yeah, if you have any questions, do let me know. Thank you to PWorks Games for sending it to me. I do really appreciate that. And yeah, if you like this video, do like and subscribe. I don't have like an affiliate link, so if you buy it, like, let me know. I'll be very intrigued if anybody does buy it from this. And yeah, have a most beautiful day and goodbye. Bye guys.